Oh, are we recording? Oh, I have my lens cap on.
Yeah.
Now we're recording.
We are recording.
We are recording. Hey, it's Tristan Raul for Sexy in Van City, and it's between Act 1 and 2 of Carmen. What do you think of Carmen?
It's fantastic. Let me just say, she is sexy. She's very sexy.
Very, very. The Carmen is, she's Israeli, I believe, originally, and she was,
Stunning. And also, there's a very good storyline right now. Carmen, has slipped away from jail, and she did so by, using her sex.
Oh, totally used her sexuality to get out of jail. I mean, it was very transparent, and opera is people who say opera is really boring. It's an acted medium.
It is.
And that whole thing between Don Jose and Michaela, it's clear that she is totally in love with him.
Yeah. Now, the problem is what's going to happen in the second act, because that's where, all the...
That's where the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the shit's going to hit the fan. And the costumes, I think, are amazing. I mean, I get the inside story from Sheila, what's going to, the staging, the costumes, but wow.
And the sound, the
beautiful,
voices are
beautiful voices, beautiful acoustics. Oh, hark, the herald deacon sing. So it's time for us to go back to our seats.
Yeah.
So after Act 2,
we'll be back.
Hey, it's Tristan Raul, and it's after
Act number 2.
Act 2. Wow, it was all in the tavern.
It was all really, really interesting because, well, let me just remind the viewers that first, the opera is in French, so you actually, even though it's subtitled, you kind of need to have a little bit of understanding of French to follow.
Which you can follow along with, but of course it's in French, but in Seville.
Yeah, in Seville, which is Spain.
Which is Spain, but it's kind of like when Butterfly is in Nagasaki, but in Italian.
In Italian, yes.
Yeah, so it's it's kind of the same.
And the most interesting thing that I found in this act was, how able Carmen is to manipulate, men.
Oh, but at the beginning of the act, you notice that the smugglers are sort of robbing the barracks blind, while Carmen and her compatriots are just dancing up a storm and distracting all the soldiers, so they don't even notice they're being robbed blind.
Absolutely.
And then we have the whole the gypsies come in and the soldiers and the famous Toreador song
and actually it's a really, really good production. All the singers are doing a really hard effort to build up the momentum because as it is a long opera, it's about 3 hours long.
Yes. And 4 acts.
Yes, and 4 acts. You need to really keep the public entertained, and you really need to build momentum with the music and energize the public and really galvanize them.
And the costumes, I think the costumes are better in the second act thus far. Well, the second act, I think they're much more vibrant than in the first act.
Yep. And we close the second act with Don Jose joining the gypsies. But it won't be for long.
But what a great part at the end, where Don Jose is having the argument with his lieutenant, and then all of a sudden the gypsies come out of the woodwork and they draw all manner of weapons, and pretty much the lieutenant's toast.
Yep.
Yeah. Won't you please come take a walk with us, sir? Which is like, we're going to kill you unless you do what I say.
Exactly.
Very cool.
So stay tuned for part 3. It will be really exciting. It's between acts 3 and 4.
Yes.
We will actually need to recap both acts 3 and 4 because there's no intermission between acts.
Well, there's a 5-minute brief thing. I mean, the big reason why these acts, why there's a long intermissions, and I'm not going to break the rules by filming what is going on stage, but the first scene takes place outside the cigarette factory. The second act is all in the tavern. The third act is all in the mountains.
Yep.
And so they're right now taking down the tavern and going to turn it into mountains.
Yep.
So that's going to take a little longer. I think this is 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
20 minutes for this intermission. And then the fourth act, if I remember correctly, is in the bull ring.
Yeah, it is in the bull ring.
So again,
There will be bullfighting.
Bullfighting.
There will be fighting.
There will be fighting
and
bullfighting.
There will be bloodshed.
So exactly. And so here we go. This is end of between Acts 2 and 3, and Tris and Raul for Sex Scene and City.
Thank you.